Hi, this is Linda Morris, and sometimes we need to know a little bit about Zoom etiquette. So I was asked to talk about Zoom etiquette, and we have a little fun, and we invited everybody to wear a tiara or a fedora, just because sometimes you got to have fun. So I put together just a little fun PowerPoint on some points that I actually had Googled and found out some information for Zoom etiquette, because some things I hadn't really even thought of before. And I myself was on the Zoom.us website today watching a video on backgrounds because I couldn't figure something out. So it's nice to have that Zoom.us. They have a lot of information on their website. If there's something you really don't understand how it works, or maybe you have a computer that needs to be updated, or maybe you actually need to check the software for your Zoom app that you download to make sure it is the current one, because sometimes that does slow things down. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to walk through this PowerPoint, and we're going to be a little interactive here also. So if you have something you want to share, please go ahead. So I actually shared this in presenter mode so that you could see what this looks like. And this way you can actually see all of your slides are down here. You can see what's coming up, and that way you can be prepared. It's interesting. You can actually, let me stop. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that, but that's how these things work. I actually was going to show you from the beginning. Let me stop the PowerPoint actually, and let's end the show. But I still want to share my screen, because there are different ways to start your PowerPoint. So you can actually play from start, play from current slide, presenter view, and that's what I just had it on, custom view, and you even have over here record slideshow. So there's a lot of different options, and this is right in the PowerPoint portion. So you could see, different ways, because when you are sharing your screen, sometimes you don't want to see everything that is in the background. But anyway, let's just go ahead. So first of all, test your technology, and I did this. And there was my green screen wasn't working. I saw that the background was actually showing the red was in my body, and it was showing green. I'm like, well, that's not working the way I want it to. So that's why it's really good to test your technology, what you're going to be using first before you start. So, and this includes your camera, your video, Wi-Fi, and screen sharing if you are the host or the presenter. Now, tonight, I'm really lucky I have Barbara Bertucci helping me as a co-host, because when you're doing it by yourself, there are a few extra things that you have to be aware of. And so practice speaking to the camera and not at the screen. So know where your camera is, and you can actually look at yourself, because when you, like, if I want to correct, like I'm tilted, I have to look at my look at the little screen of myself. I'm like, oh wait, which way do I need to go to be straight? And that's something I have become aware of. So it is our tendency to look at the person on the screen. If somebody else is talking, or if you're talking to a person, you might be looking over like this, but look at the camera instead of looking at the person. It takes a little bit of practice to actually start doing that. And that way it makes people feel like you're talking to them and not to somewhere else. If you're going to be on camera, dress appropriately. I've actually had some Zoom calls actually with doctors, and I thought I was just going to be, didn't think I was going to have my camera on. I didn't think they were going to want to see me. And one time I was actually in my sauna, and I just had my laptop up on a little table, and they're like, Linda, we want to see your face. And I'm like, oh no. I never did that again. So you want to be dressed appropriately, if you're going to be on screen, or there might be a chance you're going to be on screen. Take a few minutes to throw on a clean shirt and brush your hair, or a tiara. The best part of actually getting ready while you're working remotely is that you'll put yourself in the right headspace to be productive. And that's a good point. So be prepared, review your agenda, your presentation, your PowerPoint, whatever you're going to be talking about. so you're not stumbling over your words. I know sometimes in my Friday morning brainstorm Fridays, they're early and I haven't really prepared. And there are a lot of long words that I often stumble over. So it would be better to be prepared. So make time for casual conversation. So before or after the meeting, include a few minutes of friendly interaction before diving into a meeting. And this can really build the necessary rapport for a successful session and keep the team engaged when the conversation jumps to business talk. Be aware of your surroundings. Adjust your work setup so that you face a window or you're exposed to plenty of light. Make sure your background is professional. And actually, we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but make sure it's work appropriate. If this is work, make sure it's work appropriate, because it would be awkward if it wasn't. So sometimes, and this is something I had to learn, like if you just click a link to get on a Zoom, sometimes your picture isn't showing. It just says your name. You're like, well, where is my picture? I've seen my picture there before. Well, you actually have to log into your zoom.us account, with your email address and your password for your photo to show if you're not sharing the camera. If the camera's off, it'll just say your name if you are not logged into your account. So log into your account and use your name. Don't use some other type of name or your business name. Use your name because people want to call on you by your name. Like we said, have an appropriate background, not a distracting one. We don't want something where people are like, what is that? And actually, I'm going to show you a little example of that in a little bit later. And when I first saw it, I was so distracted. I was trying to figure out what the background was. I did figure it out, and it's kind of cool. But you don't want something that's so distracting that that's where people's focus is going. Also, you don't want to walk around while on Zoom camera. You don't want to be driving either. I know sometimes people call on you when you're driving. And, for some people are sensitive and they might actually get dizzy if they're watching somebody walking around with a camera moving. So don't do that, and make sure you know how to mute and unmute yourself. Always mute yourself if you're being noisy, somebody else is talking in your house. Never, if you're on your phone, don't ever have it on speaker, because that creates this background noise, and sometimes that can be shrill. So mute yourself and use headphones. I know that's coming down a little later, but always use a headset, AirPods. That's what I use most of the time. Earphones, because I'm actually using a Yeti microphone, and so I'm actually wired in. But use headphones, because that way you're not hearing all the background noise that's going on, and you can actually hear better. So look like you're paying attention, or turn off your camera. So if you're on your phone or another device and you're looking down or you're talking to somebody else, just turn off your camera. I've actually got a little stand for my phone. It's kind of cheating. So I actually literally can have it right next to my MacBook that I have on right now, if I really needed to see a message or something. So, if you're going to be on doing something else, just turn off your camera for a minute and don't forget to mute yourself. If you need to take a call, or if you're eating a snack, just turn off the camera. It's just temporary. Lighting, buy a ring light. And I'm going to show in a couple slides some different ones. Actually, I bought two on Amazon. They were on sale, so I bought a backup, and it really lights you up. And you can use these. They're somewhat portable. They do have to be plugged into a USB, but you can actually change the lighting. It can be brighter, whiter, lighter. There's a lot of different things that you can change with it. And it even has a remote with it if you want to attach like your camera in the middle of the ring. So things have gotten really advanced, but they're not very expensive. I know in my house, if I'm doing a Friday morning call or any morning call, I need to close the curtains because my office is surrounded by windows. So there could be a lot of backlighting, which makes it hard for people to actually see you. Let's see, be aware of background noise. Please never yell while your microphone is open. Don't yell at your dog, your kid, your cat, your your husband, whatever. Another important point, in fact, my desktop computer is connected to the internet, but my MacBook, I actually had to go buy an adapter so I could direct connect it to the internet, because you can actually drop the Zoom. And if you're leading the Zoom, you really don't want to do it. Or if it's an important Zoom, you don't want to get dropped off of it. So normally I always used Wi-Fi, but now I actually am directly linked to the internet, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, if you live in a house where there might be 3 or 4 or even 2 other people that are on your Wi-Fi, that also could affect your computer's performance, and you might once again get dropped. So you might say, hey, I've got this 30-minute Zoom. Would you mind abstaining from using your iPad, MacBook, laptop, phone on Wi-Fi for a bit, because that can create that unstable connection. So I did take some screenshots of the ring light that I got on Amazon, and also the Blue Yeti microphone that I use. And actually Best Buy also has that Yeti microphone. I happened to see it today. But this is the ring light, and this is actually, I think, the most important, because it has this nice stand, so you can make it taller. It comes with a little short one. And as you can see, there's the white light and then the different types of light. And it was $33, although last week it was on sale. So you never know. But it's just a ring light. So you can Google ring light and find one that's right for you. So next, where is your camera pointed? Be aware. Another friend actually brought this up to me. She said, don't have your nose pointed down at the camera. She was on a 3-hour Zoom, and this woman, she's like, well, I think it's when she's reading something on the screen that it happens. So you sometimes, I think because of people wearing glasses, reading glasses, and you don't want your nose pointed right at the camera. It's just etiquette, right? We're doing Zoom etiquette. So if a single host in chat, so if there's only one person that is leading this Zoom, don't chat with them unless it's something really pertinent, like we can't see your screen, we can't hear you, things like that. If it's the, oh, great job, or announcing another call or something, wait until after they've stopped sharing a PowerPoint, because on PowerPoint, you have to actually, when you're doing full screen, you can't see anything else generally. Although I did change the settings. So see, I just discovered something else. So the chat is down here. Normally I would have to stop the PowerPoint and look to actually click on the chat to see what it is. But now I actually have it set up that they will always be there. So I guess you can manipulate that. So, but it's just a little idea, to save questions and comments for after the presentation is over. Enthusiasm on the content can be made with symbols, hearts, thumbs up, etc. So another thing, when you get to questions and answers, is your question appropriate for this Zoom environment? Think before you ask, especially on recorded calls. Sometimes I get asked questions and why are they asking me that in this group? This is not that type of question for here. So you really want to think before you speak. Of course, that's a good rule everywhere in life, but especially on a recorded call. Let's see. And also, we'll go down a couple here. Never make medical claims on a recorded Zoom. So, there's nothing in the world that can be cured or treated for anything on a recorded Zoom. We don't ever make those claims. So save that for when it's not recording. And do not eat while on Zoom. Turn off your camera first. So makeup tips. Actually, Pam Barnes asked me to talk about this. So I actually have my makeup bag here just to show you an example. But if I'm doing a national Zoom, I definitely will put on, use a foundation primer. It makes everything glide easier. I know some of the guys on here don't know these things, so I thought you might be interested. I always use under eye cover up. I also like this LED liquid lights. It's actually for LED lighting, and it's kind of a nice glow that it gives you. And it's just something else you smooth on your skin.
This might be a good time to not share the screen, Linda, and see you.
Okay, good idea, Barbara. There we go. So, yep, here's my makeup bag. One of them. Of course, I do work for a makeup vendor, so I have a suitcase of, actually I have 2 suitcases now of makeup. But so yeah, good idea, Barbara. So yeah, this is the LED lights that I use. So you can actually see maybe like there's like a shimmer to it. And it just gives you this beautiful glow. A primer. I have a few different primers. This one's just from Bare Minerals. And you put that on. Here we go. Prime time brightening. And it makes things glide on your face easier. So it looks better because you don't really want to look like you have makeup on. That's always been my thing. And usually I wear like serum makeups. I don't like makeup because I'm not a makeup person. Oh, there's a really good tip. This is a lipstick lip lock pencil. So you actually use it underneath your lip line all the way around, and that'll prevent the feathering, because as we get older, we get these lines and then we get lipstick going all over the place, which is so not what we want. So yeah, this is called invisible lipstick lip lock pencil. So you just put it around, and it's actually like a little bit of a wax. You can't see it, but it helps with that. And then you do your liner, and then you do your lip gloss. And there's actually some lip glosses that also won't bleed. So the more you learn, the more you know you don't know. Yeah, I have all kinds of brushes for different things, and then the makeup sponges and bronzer. You know, that's what gives you this. And actually, a makeup artist taught me you do like a 3 when you're doing bronzer, and then you do a little bit down here and then up here. I do love these microblading eyebrow pens. They have the cute little, you know, the tips, the 4 tips, so you can do your eyebrows and it'll actually stay on longer. Of course, mascara, eyeliner, cover up. Makeup artist told me about this MAC Studio Fix 24-hour under eye. So it'll actually stay on all day, and it won't create creases. You won't have all these creases. So it'll stay on all day. Let's see. Pam, are you there? What else did you want? This Yves Saint Laurent, this is also helps with the under eye darkness. This is very popular in the modeling world. I have like 3 of them. One in my purse, one in my bag, everywhere. So I guess that's about it on as far as that goes. And I think I was about done with my PowerPoint anyway. No, I wasn't. I had a couple more. Let's go back. Oh, okay, here we go. So this actually, Barb Satterwhite sent this to me. And this was actually, I think it was a kickoff call. You can see Ruben, he's paying attention. He's doing the presentation. And you can see Barb is paying attention. You can see Jeff is here and he's looking or reading something. So he might be preparing. He might have a bit coming up and he's like, let's see, what am I going to say next? He could be preparing. This gal is actually paying attention. And then down here, this was a background that I really like, what is that? I really looked at it. And I actually figured out it's a little girl. She's holding 2 tomatoes up over her eyes, which is cute. But that's one of those things where it's a little distracting because it totally took me away from learning about the revitalizing serum. Like, what is that? This is what I spoke about earlier is the Zoom.us, where you can actually go and find help with things that you need help with. And they actually even have some videos that you then can click on. So that's very helpful. In fact, I used it today. So here are See, I got to get rid of myself. I'm moving myself around. My new favorite option is the blur option. And that's where you do not need, you can't use a green screen actually. And you just have a blurred background. And it actually makes you really stand out in the video. I really like that option. I'll have somebody share that in just a minute, or have a couple of you guys put that on. But here's just like, you know, some other basic backgrounds, things that are not too busy or too far out there. You know, nice looking like house sitting areas, one at the beach. And then I just happen to have the Nikon kickoff background. So I thought I'd share that. And you can download these. Actually what I did is I just Googled Zoom backgrounds and I found what I liked. I downloaded them, saved them. It's as a photo. And then you just upload it to virtual backgrounds. And that's how you add them. That's how I got to my queenly background that I have now. This is actually the background that the green screen that I am using right now. And it doesn't really work like I'd hoped. In fact, if I just attach it to my chair, you see that like it's like I shimmer in and out. So I actually have to sit on it. So I'm actually sitting a little bit on it's behind me on my chair. But it's not perfect. But you know, I guess it works. You do what you got to do. And I guess there I am. Now I'm done with that PowerPoint. So anybody have anything? Yep. Heather Abbott, you got anything to say?
Wow, that was a lot of information. I'm glad you recorded this. So we'll try to get that posted. I guess you're going to post on your channel, Linda.
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely.
Or you know, if I get the video, I can do it. Doesn't matter. But
yeah,
we'll
I'll
get this
upload it to my
posted
YouTube.
so you can review it. Yeah, great tips, really great tips. I'm looking, I need more light. We're in a cavernous space, but I definitely need more light. But thank you, Linda, so much. And thank you, Barbara, for co-hosting there. It's nice not to have to drive for a change.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions that they don't understand about Zoom? I know we actually did this on one of my Friday calls and we had a lot of things that came up, but Barb Satterwhite, see, you raised your hand. I love it.
Well, I want to say I got the ring light. It's up here now on that little, this office is hard and I don't have it quite right, but I just ordered it. And like she said, it was $33. I got it for $17. And it has a short tripod and then it has a taller one. So, and everywhere in my house, there's not good lighting. There's just too many windows. And so anyway, I think it's going to work fine. But the question, I was looking at this, watch what happens when I put the blur on. I'm not sure I like it. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like the blur?
What we like is
doing
that
what it
you
should
come
do.
forward. You
The
come
what?
forward, you're more present than the background. So you actually sit forward in the screen. And that's what's really good about it, I think.
Okay, take it off and see the difference.
Yeah, Maggie has hers on blur and so does Barbara Richmond, I think. And Jeannie has it on blur. I love blur. I really do.
Marcia's got it. Yeah.
Mine's just my normal home background.
Oh, you're not on blur?
No,
Okay.
that's a mirror right behind me.
Okay. So you created your own blur.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So did you have a question, Barbara, or something you wanted to say?
yeah, I wanted to ask, you showed the green screen that you have. Did anybody else purchase a green screen or can they recommend one that they really like?
Yeah.
I know there's some that fit on the chairs and others that you have to put on a rod or a tripod or something.
Yeah, what are you looking for? One that you put on a rod, hooked to the wall?
Well, you know, I mean, everything on Amazon, there's so many different fabrics and different types and different price points. I don't need to spend a lot because I don't need it for every video, but there are times when I really would like to have it. because when you use the virtual background, if you don't have a green screen, you get that movement distortion.
You do,
Which is
and
distracting,
if you hold
very
something
distracting.
up out here, you
Yeah,
can't
it's
see it.
That's right. It's distracting.
Ah,
I've got my ring light
yay.
Good
and
girl.
my adjustable tripod, and then I have another little one. This little one as well that works well. It
Cool.
it fits in the Kenko light.
Does it?
So the Kenko light is, I use it, for my keyboard because my lighting in my apartment is very bad. But this fits in the back, in the slot, in the Kenko light. So if I'm doing a video on my computer instead of my phone, doing a live, I can turn it on because it plugs right into the USB port on my
USB, yeah.
computer. And it
Well-
works great.
Well, Barbara, let me answer your question a little bit. Let me turn off my
you.
background here for a minute. And I'll show you. So I did do some research. So here's my green screen, but it's actually, if I had it behind the chair, then it wouldn't actually work. And that's why I thought this through. Okay, this is my other fun one. The reason I thought this through, because that's who I am, but I do have a big black chair and it would still be distorted. The black wouldn't be showing, the green wouldn't be covering the black chair. So I'd have to bring in a short chair for it to work. So if you
I get
did
you.
that, then you would get like just one, like on a tripod that would just stand up. If you have a larger chair, then this is actually designed to fit on the back of the chair. And then I figured, because I do have that big chair, that the carrying case that you can't see right now. Actually, that you can't see. Yes, we are real people.
Well, you see in the ad that it has a carry case.
There, the carrying case, I actually put that over the back of the top of my chair, so it would still be green.
Ah, good idea.
So it's like you have to get creative sometimes with this stuff.
Well, I couldn't decide whether to get the one for the chair, or I've got two just normal tripods that I've used, with whiteboards and bulletin boards and things like that. And I thought, well, I could use those two tripods with a dowel across and the drape that falls down, and clip that on. But is that going to take too much setup when I could just grab the one that goes on the chair and folds up into a bag to set off to one side when you don't need it?
Yeah, and that's why I answered that question the way I did. Like this one, I don't normally, like I can still put my virtual background back on. You may not be able to see my tiara. Oh, I forgot. You have to turn off. I have a green screen. And then, okay, but see, like the tiara goes away.
We'll see now.
So I had to put some hair up here. So anyway, yeah, I did play with all this stuff, obviously, before I practiced. And Pam, this was your idea. So I'm going to call on you first before Yoko. But
Okay, thank you for your input.
you're welcome. And you're welcome to call me. You got my number. Where did Pam go? Oh,
Like to say something to Barbara right
Huh.
now. Barbara, you might need to clean off your camera screen because you do have a halo. And that is probably a fingerprint or something. Also, right now, all we see is your name. I'm going to do what you're doing. If you can see me, you're here. And so we see your name and your eyes. Okay. So you want to make sure
What about now?
Now,
that now is much better. Yes.
Okay, because I have to pull the screen towards me to do that.
You look much better now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
okay. Now we're going back to Pam. I found her again.
Good.
Okay, Pam.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably be delayed because of all the hurricane storms we're getting pop up, so that's why I couldn't get on. I ended up having to come outside, as you can see, to do so. But I wanted to tell Barb and others, Ron and I bought like a green screen sheet.
Ah.
Okay, and when we've used it just 2 times, we've used the 3M hooks because it comes with grommets on it, and just we have it in the office behind my desk, and we can hang it that way. Or if we were to go somewhere, as Ron did when he did the convention last year, we didn't get it in time. We wish we had to have hung it on a wall. So those 3M hooks, they just are quick release. So it was cheap. We'll see how much we use it, but there is the option of having that.
Cool. Thank you.
Now, is that one of the ones that is machine washable? Because some of them are.
I believe it is, but I don't know why it would get dirty.
Yeah, they say that some of them are machine washable and can be ironed if necessary. Like if it's folded up a long time, you can iron out the creases.
Mhm.
Yoko, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, we didn't have any trouble.
All I was going to say is you guys have really great teachers because I mean, I barely do videos, but I'm going to try to do them. But I mean, wow, you, Barbara, I mean, you just really go into research. So thank you very much, because people like me that hate to go on Amazon or whatever, I'm learning from you. Also, Barbara Satterwhite, you know what? It's just a matter of, honestly, like you said, Linda, your whole face came out much more vivid when you did what Linda said.
Blur.
And so I guess it's just really choice of how you want to be seen by others, right? So I mean, I don't know. I can't hardly see any myself anyway, so I really don't care.
And where is that blur application?
If you click on video,
Okay,
little
so
arrow.
it's already in there then.
it depends on your computer. If you have an older operating system, it may not be an option. I learned that too this week. So Marcia, you have your hand up. You have a question? Or
No
something?
comment. I learned something about blur. After you had done your initial kind of practice presentation and I had tried the blur and then I forgot I had it on and I went to take a yoga class and I was blurry because I was back too far from the computer. So you have to be a certain distance in order for it to really work correctly. You have to be close enough to the computer. So that's just an extra little pointer. If you're too far away, you're going to blur.
Ah, okay. It's kind of fun, and actually, so if you go to virtual backgrounds and then there's a little plus all the way to the right, and that's where you go to add different backgrounds. So if you want different backgrounds. So, and also there's also video filters and then studio effects. And that's where you can actually add on eyebrows and lip color and mustaches and beards. So actually the lip color works really good. So Randy Rolfe, something you would like to add?
Yes, Linda. I actually painted my back wall in my home in Monterey green, and I still got ghosts and things. So having it closer makes sense. Also, the Zoom says that you don't have to have a green screen now for most backgrounds. So play with it before you invest in a green screen, because I actually moved my desk. I don't even use the beautiful green wall we we created because I do fine without it on the other wall. Oh, look at Barbara. That's great.
You never know what you're gonna get now.
Need a newer model computer. I spent hours with Apple upgrading a couple versions, and my 2013 edition is too old. It isn't
Upgradable. Oh well, it's not imperative. Barbara, you got something? Go ahead. Oh, unmute. There you go.
Go, Barbara Richmond.
Oh, I thought Barbara Bertucci. No, you had your hand up.
No, Was my hand still up?
Oh, yeah, you got to put your hand down. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
I
Okay.
just wanted to underline, because either it's photographs or, what's happening, but you don't want to be just ahead, and you don't want your ceiling. I guess I could stop my background and do a little bit more, because, sometimes we'll go and you'll be like just ahead, and that's not attractive. And then you've got, you have your name slot, and that's what I was telling you, Barbara Richmond. That's why we were just seeing your eyes. So you really want to look at, like Linda said, and check what you look like in your square to make sure that you're balanced and that you've got a little piece up above and some little bit more down below, because you're going to have your name label there. And then even, in the middle, and so you just want to double check that and look at that. And like Linda said, look for your camera. So you're not looking at like my squares over here. I could actually be looking at me rather than at the screen. So, and then remember, like when we were on stage and we were talking and sharing, give that person energy, give that person power by giving them your attention. And especially when they're doing a presentation like a balanced life, or, one of these that can get a little, you're trying to do it fast and cumbersome and you're going back and forth. And so just give kudos to those people and send them great energy and stuff while they're presenting, because it does make a big difference, and they're on all the time. So do mind your questions at the end too, so that you can keep it going. So thank
And
you.
Mar-
Linda.
And
What a-
Maureen Kozak, what are you doing right now? What are you doing?
She writes on her computer. You can't do that.
I was unmuting.
Oh, I'm like,
So I was
what
was
is she doing? Did you have something to say?
no, I was
No.
just scrolling. So, but it shows up as a giant something.
It
I guess.
does, yeah. So
Good to
she
know.
was a plant. She did that on purpose. So we'd all point out, don't do that.
Make sure you go to take yourself off video when you go to scroll the names. There you
Thank
go.
you, ma'am.
And I wanted to underline too, the green screen. As long as you mark you don't have a green screen, it's fine. It works perfectly. I mean, I have to tilt forward for my tiara, but
I know.
other than that,
It's almost perfectly.
I don't think you need a green.
It doesn't if you have an older model, because
Oh.
mine, yeah.
Okay.
green screen.
Yeah, you have a great picture, Maureen, Madeline. Let's
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
Pam, did you have another question? Something else you wanted to say? Go ahead.
Yes, I do, please. Number one, I have an Android, and you cannot adjust on an Android. You cannot change your screen and do all of that. I have to be at my laptop in order to do that. So for those of you that are playing from a phone, if you're not finding it, that's why, from an Android particularly. iPhone users, I'd like to know if that works or not. The other thing is just get a friend and call them and say, I'd like to do a Zoom and play around. So put the backgrounds on there, learn the special effects with the lipstick and things like that. I will tell you, I was on a Zoom yesterday and I was talking, and then Ron came in and I had my lipstick on from the special effects. So Ron came in and sat beside me, and the lipstick actually left my lips, traveled over and got on his. Okay.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Just so you know, lipstick doesn't work with two people.
That's hysterical. Okay, thank you, Pam. Sherry.
I just wanted to make a point. Somebody was coaching me about my green screen and having a background, and I did not need a green screen, but I needed to update to the latest version of Zoom. So that made a huge difference. And but we still realized that having the green screen makes it less fuzzy. less, the way your head is floating around and so forth. So
Mhm.
that's my 2 cents. And I agree. I ordered 2 different ones. I thought the first one was ridiculously big. You need ridiculously big because otherwise it messes up if you can see any part of, above the green screen. And what else? Oh, and I have to just change chairs because it won't fit on my big old office chair. But
Yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to make the point made mostly to upgrade to the latest version because that made everything work.
If you look at mine right now, I've upgraded to the latest version of Zoom and to the latest version that my Mac Pro 2013 model can do, and that's Big Sur. And it's still, this is what we have. So in checking back with the Zoom chat person, the operating system from 2013 is too old. So that this is what it looks like clicking on the green screen, and without clicking on the green screen, I can't access any of the
You
virtual.
can't do the virtual. Okay.
So I need to get a green screen before Master Day. So,
Amazon.
or a new computer, yes.
Amazon's where I got mine. You can get it in 2 days. So
Yep. So I'm back sitting on mine. Oops. And see, it doesn't always work.
pay no attention to the room behind the curtain.
I did this for you guys, just for you guys. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mary.
Another thing we found with the lipstick and eyebrows is when you turn your head, your lips are over here. The lipstick stays and your face moves, the lips don't move with it. And sometimes the eyebrows get stuck and they'll stick up here and your real ones show. So just be careful with some of those studio effects.
Linda, you mentioned men earlier, and so certainly makeup on men for videos is done with TV and other
It is
production, video production. So certainly for men, it's considered makeup artistry as well. Your tips were very good too.
Well, and with Ron's bald head, I put powder on it
Yeah, shine.
because of that.
Mhm.
I think Connie Livingston has a question, and then we probably should wrap it up. We're a little over
Okay.
time.
Connie.
Connie?
Where is the little hand that people raise to ask a question?
Do you see reactions in the bottom right?
Yes, hit that.
Click on reaction and then it says raise hand.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
I
you.
just,
Well, cool.
I wanted to underline, I keep the eyebrows on and the lipstick on, and I've run in here and I'm amazed at how good I look after working out or something because I'm on a Zoom and it's like, oh, I look pretty good. But I just have the lipstick on and the brows.
Cool. Sherry, did you have one more thing or did you forget to put your hand down? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for playing. Hope I didn't offend anybody. It was not my intent.
Good information, just good information.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good job. Yes.
It was fun.